Hey everybody, you know, if there was one modification you could do to your car that was relatively simple and extremely useful, it would probably be the lighting in your vehicle. I'm sure you know that if you pop the trunk on your car, you might have seen, a small light or something of the sort. This little itty bitty light that's supposed to, light up the entire cabin area or light up the entire back section that really just provides more than anything kind of mood lighting. Well, today I'm here to bring you an awesome mod to show you how to improve the lights in your Subaru Crosstrek or possibly in any other car that you have. Stay tuned. Specifically for the Subaru Crosstrek, you get this nice big space to put anything you want. But to light up this entire space, all you get is that tiny little light. Absolutely terrible. So what can you do to improve upon it? Why don't we shed some light on the matter? Well, I'll admit that was a bit corny, but still, it serves its purpose. The lighting is pretty terrible in most vehicles, especially that of the Crosstrek. As I've explained in a few of my videos before, I do a lot of camping, and lighting can get pretty important, especially when you're in the dark. And that little light in the back is just not going to cut it. So I thought, well, what could I do to add something else, to put some more light in there? So I looked online and I found a series of different kinds of LED lights, from LED strips to all kinds of different things. And I found one particular style that seemed to look the nicest and would work perfect for my needs. By mounting them to the inside of the tailgate, it provides all the necessary light that you could want. The lighting on my face right now is actually being provided by those lights. So what I'm going to do here today is show you exactly how to install them, what panels you need to remove, how to connect it, and everything else that you need to know in order to make your own LED upgrade. Okay, so before we get started, we are going to need a couple tools. I have them out here. First, you're going to need some wire cutters, a flathead screwdriver. You're going to need Phillips head screwdriver. I got another flathead here. You're going to need some probably 18 gauge or 16 gauge wire. This is 16 gauge wiring right here. Finally, you're going to need the LED lights. They are Pilot Automotive high intensity Cob LED lights. Cob stands for chip on board. And these are the lights that seem to work the absolute best. They're actually made to be exterior lights, like a little accent on your front lights. But I found them to be perfect for the inside. So I will go ahead and include these in the description. I found them online, so look in the description and you can buy them. They were super cheap, between $16 and $20. And that comes with a pack of 2 lights. So the 2 that you saw that I have up there mounted, that came in one pack together. So it's exactly what you need. You're also going to need some vampire clips. If you don't know what vampire clips are, they are these. So the way these work is your wire is going to go through here. You can have a secondary wire here, and you collapse this metal piece down inside of it, and it essentially connects the 2 wires together. And that's pretty much it as far as the main tools you're going to need. You might need another one here or there. I'll let you know as I go along. First thing you want to do is make sure that your car is off. Make sure the keys are out of the ignition completely, and you're in an environment where you can move around and take your time and not worry about getting in the way. So first thing you want to do is go ahead and lay down the seats. Alright, so now we want to clear everything out of here. Let's go ahead and move everything off. I've got a little table back here set up, and I'll put everything over there temporarily, and we'll get started with the next part. So first thing I want to do is, if you have a weather cover, go ahead and take it off. Next, take the wheel well cover off. You can just fold it and push it towards the cabin. That'll work as well. Okay, go ahead and get your flathead and your Phillips head screwdrivers and have them handy. First thing I'm going to use though is the flathead. So you're going to see a clip right here, and we need to go ahead and pop this clip off so that we can get this out of the way. You really don't need to use a flathead to pull this off. This will come right off if you just pull it. So just pull it, and it should come right out. There you go. Next thing we have to do is move the bumper cover here. So for this one, be careful, because these clips right here are actually in 2 parts. They have a outer seal and an inner seal. Don't stick your screwdriver underneath too far and then break them by trying to pop both. You'll see what I mean here in a second. So first, get the screwdriver there, pop one, and you'll see here that there is one piece here and there is a second piece here. So if you were to stick the screwdriver underneath both and try to pop it like that, you could potentially break it, and you don't want to do that. Get the one on both sides, and make sure you put these in a safe place. So now that we've got those two out, we're going to go ahead and remove our first panel, this piece right here. And it's a lot easier than you think. Everybody's like, oh my god, I'm going to break something. But don't worry, it's pretty easy. Just pop, 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 pop. And just like that, you got the bumper cover off. Next thing, we're going to remove this panel here on the left. Just go ahead and pull this up with your fingers. And it comes right off. Alright, we do not need to fully remove this piece right here. Mainly, we just want to get back here, make sure the wiring is good. We want to get behind this. So in order to pull this even just a little bit, all we need to do is remove this piece right here. Go ahead and lower this piece and pop that right there. So you got one piece, and now you have your Phillips head screw right there. Let's go ahead and unscrew that. Okay, so now we got the screw out. Easier way, just get your flat head, put it right there, and pop it out. All right, keep these together, don't lose them. Okay, so now this piece is loose here. Next thing we want to do is get this part up here loose, because this is where we're going to be running a lot of the wires. So what we want to do is get this little Phillips head screw right here. So with your screwdriver, go ahead and unscrew it. Alright, so we got this again, put it in a safe place. So this piece right here comes off very simply. Just put your fingers, just push in a little bit and pull. And this should come off just like that. There we go. Pull it, pull it, pull it. So continue pulling it and pop it off on this side over here. If you can't reach it from here, just swing around to the other side and get it. But just like that, it comes off. So you can already see some of the wiring here that is exposed. This, for instance, is the water hose for your rear windshield wiper, and some of the other electronics as well. Okay, so we want to get to this right here. So the wire from back here is behind this piece right here. You can see it there. We're going to go ahead and use our flathead screwdriver, and we can just stick it underneath here and pop it, or you can just push it just like that. Okay, so now we're looking at the upper tailgate here. Now you'll notice that I have the LED strips here, as well as a button over here. Now you can wire this, and this is what I originally did. I wired it so that the LEDs would actually turn on and off with this button here. But I don't know if maybe just the button that I have is cheap, or that it actually just doesn't do it. But I noticed that when the current was passing through the button, it really diminished the amount of power in the LED strips, and it was nowhere near as bright as I wanted it to be. So instead, I just passed off the button and went straight for a direct wire configuration, and now it's really bright. Don't make a hole in this if you don't need to. Like me, I'm going to have to buy a new cover right here to replace the one that I made for this button. Alright, so moving on. So now let's go ahead and remove these panels. The first thing you got to do is really easy. Just pull it. So from here, grab this piece, pull, pull, pop. Let's get these ones, pop, and there you go. Just like that. Boom. Super easy. Okay, the next one, just like that. Okay, so now we need to get the last piece, which is the upper panel here. There are two things we need to remove first. You have a screw right here and a screw right here. Now they are kind of a push pin style, but you still have to unscrew them at least a little bit. So you got your Phillips head. Let's go ahead and unscrew this one here. Now it helps to put some pressure against this, so with your finger just push it right here. Like I said, they're not full-on screws. They're a push pin type, but they will come out with some pressure. Okay, we got one, so you can see this right here. So this right here just pushes right back in, or just screws right back in. And this is also that clamp style. And we'll get the other one, do the same. Okay, so now that we've got both of those out, we're going to go ahead and pull this cover off the same way we did the rest. Just grab onto one side and pop. Here we go. So there we go. Got those. So there's like 4 or 5 of them right here. A few more up here, and a few here on the sides. So let's go ahead and pull those all out. Alright, now carefully, gently bring it down. Like I said, I already rewired this previously, so I have my wires already kind of running through right here. But I'm going to go ahead and go through and exactly how this works. Alright, so now that the tailgate cover is off, I went ahead and unpowered the lights so I can show them a little better to you. First thing you want to do is now get your two LEDs, and we're going to mount them on the other side. So you can see here exactly how I mounted them. So the two LEDs come with 3M tape on the back. So I went ahead and just lined them up evenly with the center of this little square here and put them right there. They're fixed right there. Now this little button here pops right off either with a screw or again just pop it off with your finger, and I just let the wires go right through there. You don't need a button. The button I put on here with the idea that I would have to go on and off, or that I wanted to give that option to go on and off, but didn't end up working as well as I thought, so I'm just going to have to replace this little button with a new one. So don't make a hole in yours, and just make sure you pass the wires right through and pop your button back in place. When you pass them through, you're going to have two wires from one LED and the two from the other. You're going to go ahead and cut it down because it's going to be really long. It'll probably be like 3 feet, so bring it down to, about a foot. That works more than enough. Now you're going to notice here the two different color variations. There's going to be a solid black one, and there's going to be a black with a white stripe. The black with the white stripe, that is the positive connection. The solid black is the negative. So what you're going to do next is take the two positives and tie them in together. Okay, so you have, there you go, your two striped wires, and just go ahead and tie them together like this, and get your two negatives and tie them in together like this. Now there are better ways of doing this. You could solder them together. You could clip them together. I know there's a lot of ways you can do it. So how you do it is up to you. I just went ahead and did it like this, and I put some caps on it, and that works perfect for me. So now that you're done with that, we're going to go ahead and move this off to the side, and then I'll show you how to wire it on the other end where the actual light is, where we're going to be receiving some power. So let's go ahead and move this off to the side. So now back to the light in question. This is the light that we want to go ahead and replace, or not necessarily replace, but add on to. The important thing about this light is that it is being provided by the power that we need to tap into to give power to our already mounted LEDs. So if you pull this slightly out, you will notice how I've wired it. But directly on this light here, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect it. Again, just squeeze this and just pull this right out, and there's your light fixture right there. Okay, there is the green wire and the red wire. Okay, for your positive and for your negative. As you're wiring, make sure that you don't forget which one is which. Next thing you want to do is get your wire. Okay, in this case I use some 16 gauge wire, and we're going to cut it to the right length to reach all the way across. It doesn't have to be exact, it can be approximate. You'd rather have a little bit more than a little bit less. So from right here at this point, you're going to imagine wrapping it all the way through the panels, coming up this direction, all the way up to the tailgate, to about the center, and a little extra is fine. By the time you're done, you're looking at close to about, I don't know, I would say about 5 feet. Make sure you cut two of these. Again, one for the positive and one for the negative leads. So now, using your wire cutters, you're going to go ahead and cut those wires like I mentioned to the right size. And now is when you're going to use your vampire clips. So what you're going to do, you're going to see here that on the vampire clip there's one side that's going to be blocked off and one side that's passed through. Okay, the pass through is where the current active wire is going to go through, and the blocked up one is where your new black wire is going to go through, or whatever color you get. So if you open it up just a little bit, there you're going to see the two channels there. So like I have it placed here, the pass through wire is that green wire right here. Okay, that's going to go right through there. Okay, the black wire, or my new wire, is going to go on the blocked off section right there. So once you have the two in place, you're going to have the one wire there, the other one there. Take your pliers and you're going to squeeze it together. So this little metal thing right here, what it does is it bites directly into the wire slightly, into both of them, and allows the current to pass from one wire to the other while still maintaining its current to whatever it's going to. Okay, and then you close this to give it a nice little seal. Okay, so that looks like this. So you got your one wire going to the green, and I have the other wire going to the red. So now that you have those two wires connected, again, don't forget which one is which. Have them marked somehow, either one positive, one negative, okay, as you pass them through. Or have two different color wires, so that way you know which one's which. So now you're going to pass them through, You're going to come back right through this panel here, and again, here's your water line. So this is the clip that the water connects to, so you can put it above the clip right there, put the water back through, and that kind of holds it in place right there. Next thing you want to do is pass it through here. So now you're going to have these seals. You can see the one on the other side over here, just like that. Okay, this is the waterproof seal. So we're going to go ahead and pull this out, pop, and pop just like that. And you're going to try to pass through the wire through here, make it come out through this side of it, again right through here, and from here just pass it right through, have it come out of this section right here, and from here hold it up all the way to where you're going to have it. One point of difficulty that I found was trying to get the wires to go through the rubber sealing right here. This is pretty sticky rubber, especially on the inside, and so trying to pass the wires through directly was pretty difficult to do. So one thing that I used that actually worked very well was this neat little wire attachment that I had. Is used specifically for GoPros when you mount them on the outside of your car to keep it from flying off, or to keep it from losing your GoPro if it flies off. So yeah, this worked perfect. This is rigid enough that I managed to pass it right through all the way, and then I tied the wires on this side and just pulled it back through. So in case that issue happens to you, that's one solution. Otherwise, just find whatever solution works best for you to get the wires to go through the ceiling, and then continue. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish taping it all down. Be back in just a second. I know I mentioned to go ahead and secure the points down with tape, but I was thinking about it, and zip ties seem to make a little bit more sense. So instead, I went ahead and zip tied everything down. So first point of connection is right here. Just make sure you don't zip tie this one too tight. Remember, this is your water line, so if you squeeze it, you won't have water passing through anymore. So just enough to hold it in place. After it passes through, I have one here just kind of holding them together. The next one is zip tied to this clip. The next one to this upper clip right here. Now you can see I had them hanging, and that's because we still need some extra to go ahead and attach it to our mounting points on the back of the tailgate cover. So let's go ahead and do that now. Time to start getting connected. This is the positive end, the negative end, all wired up together. Now again, the way you choose to connect it is up to you. I don't have a soldering iron, so I'm just going to go ahead and use these cool little caps. The way they work, you put it inside there along with your wire and just screw it in place, and it holds them together. So we got our positive wire first. So go ahead and make sure it's nice. Find your positive end here. And again, from right here, you're going to go ahead and twist them together first. Nice like that. Get one of your caps and just screw it in place. And now it is connected, and that's a perfect seal. So you can see now it's holding on tight as if it was an actual screw. Now check out the negative. Oh, look, what is that down there? We've got power. Oh yes, that's exactly what we want. Oh my God, I'm gonna get electrocuted. No, you're not gonna get electrocuted. Go ahead and hold them together and go ahead and screw it in place. All right, now you're good to go. So now you're attached. Your light is obviously on down here at the bottom. Don't forget to go ahead and reconnect your old light, just like that, and snap that back in place. Next thing you want to do is you want to line it up and then just go ahead and attach it right back up there. To make this a little bit easier, you might want to actually strap the wiring down here across this section so that it comes out this portion right here. So now that it's taped and all in place, let's go ahead and reattach it. So I'm going to start first of all with these upper caps here. Just kind of feel your way until you get it there, and then push straight up. Let's see. There we go. Make sure the wires are coming out properly. There we go. Okay. All right. Good. It feels like everything is in place. Okay, so now we've got this extra bit of wiring here. So again, we could pass it right back through these same clips and zip tie it once more. Cool. Now you're all set. Okay, so now you can see above here, the lights are looking awesome. It's nice and bright. So before we finish up, let's go ahead and put these two screws back in place. Then we'll go ahead and put these snap covers back on. These do just slide right in after you put them there. Just push and you're good to go. Okay, so now we got our two side panels. So we'll get this side first and just line it up and snap, snap. Next one, same thing, just line up in place and snap it in place. And finally, for the last panel, good. Make sure everything is perfect and in place, and we're good to go. So this part is complete. Now let's go ahead and finish cleaning up our mess over here, put the side panel back in place, and we'll be pretty much done. So we've got our side panel. Let's go ahead and put it in place. Again, line it up with the matching holes on all sides here. So once you've got everything lined up, just go ahead and pull the rubber sealing out of the way to continue and to finish your connection. All right, now that it's all in place, go ahead, get your Phillips head screwdriver, grab the screw that goes in place here, and finish it. So now we've got this back in place, everything's here. Let's go ahead and finish up, put the rest of the panels on, and we will be done with this project. So just in the reverse order that we did everything, first put in this panel here, snap it right back in place. Next, go ahead and put on your bumper panel. Slide it underneath this piece right here that we did not remove. Get it in line and press straight down. All good. Now would be a good time to go ahead and replace that part that we took off down here. Snap this back into place and screw it back in. Take your screw cover and snap it back in place as well. Let's go ahead and put the little snap caps back in place for the rear bumper cover. That one is right over here, there, and okay. Next thing you want to do is put the foam side cover there. So we've got that, the foam panel, snap it in place. Again, using this little snap against that part right there, and good to go. All right, last thing you have to do is bring back the cover, and if you don't have a weather cover, you're done. If you do have a weather cover, go ahead and put that in place. And now you're done. And that's it, everybody. Pretty simple process, pretty straightforward. I hope that this video helped you out and that you're enjoying your new lighting. Now, the really cool thing also about that connection, the way we did it, if you follow my instructions exactly, these lights will actually turn off on their own the same way that the side dome light would work as well. Since we wired into that, when you lock your car, these will turn right off as well. If you like Subaru Crosstrek mods, anything outdoors, anything's gun related, then please subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions, like I said, leave in the comments section below. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you guys go ahead and do this same mod to your Subarus or to whatever vehicle you guys may have. And we'll see you guys next time on StarDude Outdoors.